You're welcome back to Learn with Eugene. In this video, we're going to learn how to work with shapes. In our previous video, we talked about how we can work with text, so we apply several text effects. Now, this time around, we're going to be working with shapes, how we can add shapes and also add some text, some shape effects to it. Now, this is Learn with Eugene. Please, if you have not subscribed, do well to subscribe and also uh, ring it on the bell icon, and do not forget to invite your friends to join this channel. This channel is going to teach you various digital skills which you need to enhance your skills with your mobile phone. All right, so let's get started right away working with shapes. So open up a new project for PIXELLAB, and then we're going to add up a new shape. Okay, let's delete this text first. Now let's add a new shape to it. Shapes. All right, so we can come up to the shapes tool here. So we can click on shapes. All right, so let's work with rectangle first. Now this is rectangle. We want to draw a rectangle, square. All right, so we could draw other ones. We can also come from here to click on shapes. All right, so you click on this place to put a heart icon. All right, so this is a height icon. You can also adjust it as you want. I'm going to leave this here also. Then I'm going to insert uh, another shape of let's say a quotes. Okay, so we've got another quote. So let's make do with these three shapes. Now that we have this shape, we can also apply some different effects to it. Now, the last time we worked with text, we had to use this text property tool, but this time I'm working with this shapes toolbox. Okay, so when you click on it, any of the shapes you click on, it brings up the properties that are related to that particular shape. Okay, so when you deselect any of them, it brings you the different tools that you can draw up. All right, so we're gonna work with each of them. So we can also click on draw, so you to draw your own tool as you want. All right, so we have a shape. Okay, so if you want to draw a human skull, for example, you can just make it up, and you have all of this. um, okay, so I have my shape. All right, so this is how you can get this done. Now also with other tools, the Bezier tools that allows you, this is for arrow, and we also have the Bezier tool that will allow you to draw several types of shapes. I'm going to talk more about this particular tool in some subsequent videos as we get along. So for now, I don't need this, so I'm going to delete this. For this, but just for the fun, let's just leave it this corner. All right, so let's work with these other tools that we have here. Now, when you click on each of them, it's going to bring up a related set of toolbox for you here. So all you can do, you can see the different icons that are available here. This is just to copy. You copy, then also to bring to front. I'll show you how to do layering in subsequent videos. For now, let's focus on how we can just edit this. Now, we can actually change the color to enable it. You just click on enable, and you have the color just like we did in our previous video. In case you missed it, please watch out our text video. We explain gradient fields very much there. So this time around, we're just going to use the presets that are here already. Okay, then this also, we have another form of field which we call the texture. Now texture field works with images. You can use images to fill our shape backgrounds. Okay, so to do that, just click on this. I like to select images. All right, so when you just select, you come in here, you select, let's assume you want to use this learn with Eugene graphic. Okay, so we click on OK. Yeah, that's filled up this shape. So this also is another pattern you can use when you want to also clip your pictures on it too. All right, so we also have other forms of fill. So we're gonna make do with that, and we have our color filters which we're gonna make use of. Okay, let's work with this first, or let's say heart, this heart shape. Now we all have our stroke which we work with in our text. Now we have our stroke. You can always increase the font size. So let's use uh, this orange color for it. So this our stroke. You can see how it is, give you the size that you want. All right, so that's for that. Then also we have our eraser tool. Okay, our eraser will help us to just wipe some segments of these shape. For instance, you can use any of this. You draw up particular one you want. Okay, all right, so it will now raise up. All right, so you can also increase the size of your brush if you want. All right, so you can see this. All right, so I'm going to make do with this, and I'll apply this. All right, so most of these tools I'm going to talk about them in depth in different videos we're going to work with. All right, so but for now, let's just leave it as it is right now. Now for other ones, we have different options that are here. Okay, like in our 3D rotate, let's use this shape. We have a 3D rotate here. Okay, so on the x-axis you can see how the rotation works, and on the y-axis you can see how the rotation works. All right, so we have successfully rotated this object now. So if we try to apply it to this again, you can see how it's going to be. Okay, so you can actually apply it in any format that you want. All right, so but for this we want to see this very well, so we're going to undo it, and we have our shape back. All right, so these are some of the things that you can actually add to shapes. Then also talk about opacity. Opacity is just about the transparency of a particular object. Take for instance, I have this object on top of it, and I want what is in my background to show. So I just have to adjust the opacity of this object, and I will reduce it. So you can see that what I have behind the shape on the heart object is now showing in it. So you can see this affect shadow. You can see depending if the object that is having a shadow effect. So for now it doesn't have shadow effect, so there's no need for that. So I'll just apply this. So if I bring it anywhere now, it becomes so transparent on it. All right, so that's for that of shape. Then we have our usual rotation. So this rotation is actually different from the 3D rotate. If you notice it, this is just for you to turn it about for 360. Okay, we turn it about within 360. So we're going to return it back to the default, and then okay. But the 3D rotate is a different one entirely. Then also we can apply 3D effects. 3D shape is this. Now, remember what we did initial time? We just did 3D rotate, but this time around we're working with 3D shape itself. But in other videos, I'm going to talk more about it. Now you can see the depth of it. All right, yeah, you see the depth there. You can see the color of it. Now I can try to give a gradient fill of this, or let's say this. Okay, so we have this as a shape. All right, so now that we've gotten our shape, this is 3D shape. Remember we applied an opacity effect. If we have to remove the opacity now, then our stuff is white. But because opacity is there, so it's assuming the inner content or the background, the shadow of it. All right, that is why we say this. You get it now. So now we apply this, and we're good to go. This for 3D shapes. Now we can also have other perspectives to all of this. Now let's talk about shadow. We'll also talk about shadow lightly in working with text. So this we can have shadow. This is the offsets of our shadow on the x-axis. That is the horizontal axis. So we can also offset it in a vertical axis. All right. So we can work on the different offsets that we have. All right. So we set it properly as we would desire it. Okay. So this is just how we can apply some of these effects to it. Then also talk about the inner shadow. All right, so the inner shadow, talking about inside of the object. Okay, I'm not going to apply this here. Let's take to this shape tool, the heart tool rather. So on the heart tool, we can have inner shadow applied to it, and let's see how it works. So you can see blur effect. You can see that from the edges of the line into the object, it's like as if the picture, the background is deep inside of it right now. Okay, so this is just it. Then you can also offset it the way you want it, but we're going to leave it at the default settings of 0 because it's not applicable in this context. All right, so these are some of the stuff you can put. Lastly, I would want to put is the emboss. All right, so the emboss effect. The emboss effect would make it look like as if the stuff is embossed. All right, but I'm going to quickly let's go off this. I'm going to set this on because I don't really need it for this object. So with subsequent videos, I'm going to show you how to do lots more of this. Now, lastly, I'm going to show you about ordering. As you can see, this object is currently at the front of it, so I can just send it to back, send it to back. You see, yeah, to front, to back, to front, to back. So depending on, it's just about layering your object. So with this, we have successfully created shapes, and these are different features that we can apply to shapes. In several other videos, I'm going to teach you how to go more about this in depth. All right, let's end this here.